welcome to the Enterprise World magazine. Today's guest is a dynamic leader redefining real estate in Canada. Through the Vortex team, he's setting new benchmarks in property brokerage, investment strategy, and client-focused solutions, helping individuals and businesses navigate the real estate landscape with confidence and clarity. By combining market expertise with innovative strategies, he is championing a future where real estate is not just about property, but about creating opportunities, building communities, and empowering clients to achieve their dreams. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential business leaders of 2025, Wadah Al-Ghosen, the team leader and real estate broker at the Vortex team, Canada. Wadah, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's our absolute honor. So we'll quickly get started with the first segment. So let's start with your journey. What inspired you to become a real estate broker, and how did the vision for leading the Vortex team come about?
Okay, so I have a double major in computer science and software engineering. And I used to work in high-tech market. And before that, I used to be an acting prof at Carleton University. So I have that public speaking and teaching in me. So when I decided to leave when I decided to leave high-tech market and start with real estate, I needed a change in my life because I like to speak to people, I like to speak to the public, and I like to always be on the go. The high-tech sector doesn't really provide that kind of atmosphere or environment. So therefore, I decided to go for real estate. And of course, some friends of mine that were brokers at the time encouraged me to join real estate. And it's a funny story that the day when high-tech market collapsed and crashed, I actually got licensed for real estate. And so it was interesting shift, just like God meant it. So, and after a number of years, after a lot of hard work and a lot of effort and trying to network with people, I noticed something. I've noticed that some of the old agents, they've been in the market for so many years, they started coming and asking me questions about how to do this and how to do that and how to evolve and how to change their market and how to gain more business. And I was comfortably answering them, and they were getting they were succeeding with these advices. So I thought to myself, and I'm like, well, okay, if I have that academic and public speaking and teaching in me, this could be something that I can actually do, and I can grow a team and actually teach them this. This way is a mutual benefit. This way, I grow further, and this is how I start.
That's a heartwarming journey right there, sir. So, your team, it operates in a very highly competitive market because real estate is very technical, agile. So how do you see innovation and personalized client service shaping the future of real estate in Canada?
There's a lot of changes right now happening with the real estate industry, and new agents should take note for that. It's the market right now is struggling with everything happening with tariffs and all the market crashes in different cities and provinces. There's a lot of challenges for the new government. So there's been a lot of shifts lately, especially with the current government, on how to make housing more affordable. And real estate agents, sometimes they don't notice what's happening in the market, and they don't redirect their their goals or their dimensions on what exactly they need to focus on. Right now, Canada is heading towards more investing into multi-unit buildings and more affordable housing, and they're trying to provide more properties for less fortunate people, especially, and people who with low incomes. And they're trying to make also housing that's for sale more affordable for people who would like to be in the market. And that shift needs to be noticed by investors and by real estate agents, and they need to adjust their strategies based on that. So right now I see Canada is heading towards fabricated homes, and there's a number of investors within our team that we're helping. They're actually doing regular visits to China and elsewhere to try to get more information on how they can start something like this. The government of Canada, they're supporting this, and there should be at some point some sort of funding or grants or something from the government that helps this. This should be noticed and should be directed. I think this is where real estate in Canada is heading.
That's a very insightful answer right there. So how do you ensure that the Vortex team consistently meets the client's need while maintaining the industry-leading standards, especially when operating in a very volatile market?
Well, right now, as you say, it's very shaky market, and it's becoming like more biased market. So the Vortex team always try to shift their strategy from being focused on sellers to buyers to investors to even rentals and tenants. So we always try to change strategies based on that, and we always try to help those clients in their needs. We try to understand the market before it hits. We try to see where the trends are heading by, of course, attending as many as we can networking events or seminars or economic speeches, or we have close connections to strategists and community building leaders within Ottawa and across the province. So we do get inside information sometimes of what's going to be happening in the near future. So we try to change strategy, we try to adapt, we try to focus on the people who actually need this help at that particular time.
That's great, sir. So you know that sustainability and smart urban planning are gaining a lot of momentum. So how does the Vortex team incorporate these trends into its strategies for property investment and development?
We try to adapt new strategies, as I mentioned. We try to embrace new technologies within the team. I've been doing it for so long. I think it's been more than 20 years now. I don't know how long. And in every decade, let's say, or even 5 years, the technology, it changes rapidly. So we moved from basically marketing within newspapers to magazines to even when first social media started, especially Facebook, then other platforms started to come out. So we started to adapt with all of this. It can become overwhelming, and right now there's new technologies as well, like virtual reality, where you can actually wear glasses and see how the house is going to look like after renovation or so forth. And also there's like AI and ChatGPT and like all of this new technology that's coming along, and we try to use these technologies to adapt and improve. to provide sustainability within the team, you always need to change. You always need to adapt to new technologies. You always need to see what's good in things. And those changes might actually help you. A lot of people, they hate changes. They don't like changes because they're comfortable. And that's why you see usually in their company or their business or whatever you want to call it, they see rapid reduction. But we shift easily and we change and we adapt. So that's what makes us sustainable.
That's excellent. Definitely change is the only constant, and everything we need to adapt to the upcoming times. Looking back at your leadership journey, what was the most defining moment that shaped your vision for the Vortex team and its mission?
So one of the things that happened is one of the agents actually, when I first started real estate, after about a couple of years, one of the agents, and he happens to be also like a broker, so it's like a little bit higher level than me. He came directly and asked me some set of questions about a particular builder in a particular area. And I was astonished that he's been in the market for like 10 years and he didn't know this information. But again, that's what I'm talking about, change and change your vision and change how you do things. So because I was still new in the market, maybe, and I'm eager and all energetic, and I'm going visiting all these builders, so I know what's happening in certain areas. I gave him a really important information that area is actually used to be a swampland, and there's always a risk of these properties sinking in the ground. So he disregarded my information at that time, and he went ahead and bought for his client or helped his client buy that property. So it's up to him, of course, and it's up to the client. And surprisingly enough, he got hit with a claim after that. The garage actually split from the house and sank in the ground. That actually gave me a lot of insight on how I look at things and how others look at things. And I thought, this, like, the real estate market actually needs a new vision. It needs to be reshaped. It needs to be all about the client and providing value to the client. It's not about doing a sales pitch. It's not about selling something and then disregard the client. It's about building clients for the future, building a relationship with the client, being as ethical as you can, providing the right information and true information. So that was my journey. That's what I wanted to do. That's why I created the Vortex team. And if you noticed, I called it the Vortex team. I never called it the Wadah Al-Ghosen team, because I do value the team members within me, and I want them to grow within the Vortex team. It's not about me, it's about the industry at all.
That's wonderful. It really shows that you're a team leader, a team player, and also a very client-driven, leader as well. So that's great, sir. So this brings us to the end of the segment 1. So we'll quickly move on to the segment 2, which is a rapid-fire round. So no deep dives, very quick answers. The most underrated factor buyers overlook when investing in property.
Buyers usually overlooks the fact that they need their own representation. A lot of times they go directly to the owner of the property or directly to the even listing agent. We always have to remember that the listing agent does not have to, by law, provide you with the ethics and with the code of conduct. They need to provide you with facts, which is if you ask the right question, and they work for the best interest of the seller. So basically, it's their best interest to please the seller, not please the buyer. So they really work for the seller. So buyers usually fails to see that. They think by talking directly to the seller or talking directly to the listing agent that provides them more flexibility in negotiation. They put their emotions in front of them while they negotiate directly with that side, and then they get less value for more money that they end up paying. So that's what I always try to tell buyers that to be careful about.
That's great. So what is the biggest misconception about real estate market today?
The biggest challenge that always faces real estate is that real estate representations is not needed. People can always do their own sale. They can always sit down together and do the deals. And in my opinion, that's the biggest mistake. Like I always tell people, if you buy a car, you always take it to be inspected, whether it's at the dealer or like a mechanic. So a real estate agent is your kind of inspector for law and ethics and regulations. So you need to be protected from that side. So he protects you. The real estate agents deserve their service charges that they charge, whatever that is, because they hopefully do provide that service to you, do protect you, whether it's from this side or that side. So you always need to have that kind of representation, and don't do it yourself.
That's amazing. So what is what is a Canadian real estate startup or broker that you admire?
There is always like a broker actually that he helped me get into the business, and I always looked up to him. His name is 𝗪𝗲𝗵. He's one of the people that always encouraged me in the very beginning, at the first year or two. He used to be my broker of record. I always looked up to him. And of course, over the years, I've seen a number of brokerages that I admired. For example, Royal LePage team. I used to be with a different brokerage back then. Then we opened our own brokerage. Then we ended up joining or purchased by Royal LePage team. And that was one of the agencies that, or brokerage that's actually is a leader in the industry here in Ottawa, and one of the leaders in also all Canada. So I was very happy when I joined them, because I do see their value. I do see that they try to provide the best interests of their clients.
That's very inspiring, sir. What is the biggest barrier to making real estate investment accessible to everybody?
Well, real estate cannot be accessible to everybody, because if it is accessible to everybody, then everybody would have a home, and the whole investment idea of someone owning a building or owning a property can rent it out, that whole industry will collapse. So there always has to be a distinguish. There always has to be a difference between whether it's accessible to everyone or whether it's fairly accessible to everyone. So the government definitely needs to make it more fairly accessible to everyone by providing more, of course, funding, by providing more homes, by providing more resources and more education to the public on how to do this. And of course, the interest rate and inflation plays a big role. So there is a lot to be done for sure for investment to be accessible to everyone.
That's wonderful. What is faster, where the segment is heading in terms of faster growth in the next 5 years? Residential housing or commercial development?
Well, right now, with everything happening with tariffs and all the government changing right now that we have here in Canada, we see that the government is more focused on residential. And usually when the government here, especially in Canada, when they change their focus from one industry to another, like commercial to residential, they are more focused on residential right now because they do want to make housing more affordable, more accessible. And of course, when housing becomes more affordable, more accessible, automatically the commercial segment will flourish. It will take time for that wave to catch on, but it will catch on eventually. You have to remember, when people buy homes and it's more affordable to buy homes, the banks will be at work, they'll loan more money, they'll move the economy, people will end up buying furniture, this, that, and you're doing more renovations. And that always, it changes areas and make it more developed, and therefore there will be more stores opening, more schools opening, more libraries opening, and that the whole thing moves. So it always starts by the residential sector.
That's very informative right there. So yeah, this brings us to the end of the segment 3. So we'll quickly move on to the segment, and we end the segment 2, and we'll quickly move on to segment 3, which is leadership in a minute. So what's one key piece of advice for young professionals who want to build impactful businesses in real estate but feel daunted by competition and market complexity?
They always have to be careful in the first 2 years. When they first start in the market, the first 2 years are key. Usually, the biggest mistake that new professionals do is when they first start. Of course, they're going to be depending on their friends and close family, and then they'll sell the first year or two a number of properties using that small circle, right? But that circle will finish. And those people, you have to remember, those people, they used you because they want to help you, not because they see a value in you yet. So the key is for you to show them that value. They want to help you because you're their brother, your sister, your cousin's friend. So they just want to help you by you helping them buying a business. So if you don't provide the value, if you don't provide those ethics, if you don't provide that that thing that actually see in you, they will not refer you people afterwards. Therefore, that's why 60 to 70% of the agents, the new agents, they quit within the first 2 years. In the first 2 years, they start buying their own stuff, their own cars and homes, because they see, oh, well, I'm selling good. And then they get hit with the truth that they run out of people within their small circle, and they can't find anybody else. So keep that in mind.
That's a very realistic and wise advice right there. So yeah, we'll quickly move on to the last and final round, which is the segment 4. So looking ahead in 2025 and beyond, what major trends or breakthroughs do you foresee shaping the Canadian real estate landscape?
One of the things that's going to be changing, I think, the Canadian real estate market is fabricated homes. This is a big thing that's going to be coming. And Mark Carney, our current Prime Minister, he talked about it, he's encouraging it. He's putting in place supposedly some sort of grants or funding for this that will help make the properties more affordable, whether it's renting or selling. So the real estate agent needs to take a look at that segment, that industry. They need to understand it. They need to review everything about it right now, because when it booms and starts going crazy, I think a lot of agents will not understand how this works, will not understand how they actually build these homes using fabricated homes. And they might fail serving the community or the market fairly.
That's great. I thought there was a lag in the network, but yeah, that's fine. So moving on to the last and final question: how will the Vortex team continue driving innovation, client success, and community impact in this evolving market?
We always look at new changes. We always look at things that we need to adapt. We always look at what are the true needs for the clients. Some clients, they try to call us and they say, oh, I want a house 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. But that's not really the need of the client. The need of the client is you have to sit down with him. You have to understand what he really needs by asking him how many children he has, how many friends he has, where does he work, how does he communicate, where his kids used to school, is it French or is it English or is this or that, is it specific demographic that he likes to be in. That always needs to continue. So it always helps people see that value in us, and it always helps the community actually be together. Every demographic, usually they like to be closer to each other, and we try to help with that. We try to help the different communities evolve by also paying back within the community. So we try to help in sponsoring different charitable events. We try to sponsor different festivals, cultural festivals. We try to help and volunteer. I'm part of one of the biggest international organizations, Kiwanis International. So they help kids, and we support those people in need. And that's something that will always make the Vortex team unique, will always make the Vortex team noticeable within the community. And no matter how evolving the market goes, we still show that little personal feeling, little personal touch within the community. So we will always be there.
That's fantastic. So yeah, Wadah, this brings us to the end of the interview, but I just want to give you a small vote of thanks before we say our goodbye. So thank you so much for sharing your journey and the vision for transforming real estate through leadership, innovation, and client empowerment. I think your story highlights the vital role of strategy, expertise, and community in building real estate business that makes a very meaningful impact. So for all of our viewers of the Enterprise World magazine, we will be back with more such insightful conversations highlighting leaders who are driving the future of business, innovation, and community right here on the Enterprise World magazine. So thank you so much, Wadah. It was great. We had a lovely conversation, and I wish you all the best with your role and company ahead.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me, and I hope I provided good value, good information to the public, and I hope I can be some sort of a help within this industry. And again, I thank you very much, and I thank the audience, of course, and I wish you all the best.
Yes, it's our pleasure, and thank you so much for your time and effort. It means a lot for us. I hope that you have a great weekend ahead.